welcome to Models and Agents for Beginners, episode 77 for June 19th, 2026. We've got some really cool AI stuff to talk about today. Let's dive in. Something wild just happened with health questions and ChatGPT. OpenAI announced that its new GPT 5.5 instant model now performs at the same level as its top thinking models. When people ask about medical topics, think of it like the difference between a quick voice assistant that gives short answers and a careful friend who listens, asks follow-up questions, and explains things clearly. GPT 5.5 Instant was trained and tested by physicians, so it better recognizes when something might need urgent care. It asks for helpful context and explains uncertainty instead of guessing. This matters because more than 230 million people every week turn to ChatGPT with health questions. For students or anyone without easy access to a doctor, having a free tool that gives clearer, safer sounding answers could change how people get initial information. It also shows that speed and quality do not always have to trade off. The same model that answers almost instantly can now handle serious topics responsibly. For you, personally, this means the free ChatGPT you might already use on your phone just became more reliable for everyday questions about feeling sick, nutrition, or mental health. It will not replace real medical care, but it can help you figure out whether you should talk to a parent or doctor sooner. Right now, you can open the free ChatGPT app or website and try asking a specific question like this. Say you have had a headache for 2 days after staring at screens and ask what you should consider. Notice how it asks for more details and explains when it is unsure. That is the new capability in action. Okay, now for my favorite part of the show, the deep dive, where we look under the hood. You know how when you are texting a friend and your phone suggests the next word, it sometimes gets the tone right because it has learned from millions of your past messages? Now imagine that same autocomplete system also learned when to pause and say, "I am not sure, can you tell me more?" instead of just guessing. That is basically what is happening inside GPT 5.5 Instant when it answers health questions. The model was shown thousands of real doctor-written answers and doctor-reviewed conversations. It learned patterns like when someone mentions chest pain and shortness of breath, first check if this sounds urgent. At the same time, it was trained to notice its own uncertainty. For example, when symptoms could mean many different things, it asks for more context rather than make something up. The result is an AI that does not just spit out the most likely next sentence. It weighs safety, clarity, and honesty before answering. So next time someone says AI just predicts the next word, you can tell them it is more like a very careful autocomplete that was taught when to stop and ask questions instead. And that is basically how this careful health answering works. Not so scary, right? Now let us look at some cool stuff you can try yourself. A new survey from Match found that 47% of US singles feel negative about AI being used in dating. At the same time, many people are open to AI helping write better profile bios or suggesting conversation starters. The interesting part is the split. People do not like the idea of AI secretly picking matches for them, but they are fine with it as a writing helper. This connects directly to how you might already use AI for school essays or social media captions. The same tool feels different when it touches something as personal as dating. If you have a dating app account or are just curious, try this experiment right now. Open any profile you have written and ask ChatGPT to help you rewrite this bio to sound more like me but clearer. See what it changes and what still feels like your own voice. That small experiment shows exactly where people draw the line with AI help. A German court ruled that Google bears direct responsibility when its AI-generated search summaries contain incorrect information. Google has filed an appeal against the decision. The company argues in its appeal that the errors in question were only minor ones. The ongoing case may influence the approaches companies take toward managing AI answers. Millions of people view these AI answers each day. The outcome could affect how search providers address mistakes in automated summaries going forward. Details on the ruling appeared in coverage from the-decoder.com. A man living with ALS has used a brain implant for nearly 3 years. He controls a computer entirely through his thoughts during that period. Researchers have described him as their first power user of the technology. The implant allows direct thought-based interaction without physical movement. Progress in the field is occurring rapidly enough to expand access. Additional individuals with paralysis could receive comparable implants in the near term. The update came from reporting at technologyreview.com. And that is a wrap. If any of today's stories made you go, that is cool, go play with it. Curiosity is how every expert started. See you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give OmniView a listen, a balanced daily world news briefing that takes every side seriously. You can explore the whole lineup at neuranetwork.com. And that's a wrap. If any of today's stories made you go, that's cool, go play with it. Curiosity is how every expert started. See you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give OmniView a listen, a balanced daily world news briefing that takes every side seriously. You can explore the whole lineup at neuranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.